Welcome everyone to this video. So for today I'll be trying out something new for my channel, which is working on real world datasets. So I hope from this video you learn some idea about data cleaning as well as plotting your data onto a chart using matplotlib or Seaborn. So let me show you from where to get the dataset. So I have leveraged on Open Nepal's dataset, which is called District Wise Poverty Indicators 2011. So I'll put the link of this website in the description box, so you can just visit there and then go ahead and download this data. So click on this and then put the CSV file in the directory where your Jupyter notebook is currently opened on. So now let me switch back. So the CSV will be called District Wise Poverty Indicators 2011. So now let's start by importing pandas as PD. Then let's import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT for plotting purposes. Then import Seaborn as SNS, and also let me call matplotlib inline to get my results inside of the Jupyter notebook. So now let's read the data frame. I'll read the CSV file. So pd.read_csv, and then the CSV file is located inside a folder called Dataset in my Jupyter notebook directory. So Dataset District Wise Poverty Indicators 2011.csv. So now that will read the data frame or read the data set and convert it into a data frame to be used by pandas. So if I call df head over here, you can see the data set. So the data set has got some district names, some zones, geographical region, development region, measure names, unit, measure values. So here you can see most of the district names are duplicate values. Similarly for zones, geographical regions, development regions, measure names, but the unit and the measure values are different. So I went and searched for what unit and measure values meant, but I couldn't find any description for this. So if you guys find out what unit and measure values mean, just let me know in the comment section, or if you know anybody from Open Nepal, just ask him. So I've also sent a mail to them, but I haven't got any reply. So for this video I'll just be showing how to clean the data and how to plot them instead of analyzing the data. So now let's see the entire data frame for once. So because this df.head just gives us a little information about our data frame, let me call the entire data frame. So starting off, we have the same df.head portion of the data frame. Now moving down, we can see that the other district names have also been listed, so from Acham to Udaipur, and then we can see that there are 11720 rows and 7 columns. So obviously there are not 11720 districts in Nepal, but there are so many copies that it has made to 11720 rows. And then you can see that for the measure names, the measure names are not only number of poor, but actually percent of poor, average per capita in consumption as well. So, and there may be more in between, so we'll have to filter that out. So let's work with only the number of poor measure name for now. So let me go ahead and first see the unique columns that have, let me make this a little short. So head, so let me see the unique values for the columns measure names. So df measure names dot unique. So for the column measure names I have the values which are written as an array. So number of poor, severity of poverty, poverty gap, percent of poor, average per capita consumption. So I'm just going to be working with number of poor for now. So let's create a data frame with only the number of poor. let me call this data frame as pour underscore df, and then use conditional selection. So wherever the measure name column has the value as number of pour, let me only call those columns, or only call those rows. So and then assign it to the pour underscore df data frame. So pour underscore df now doesn't have anything else than number of pour. So the rows have also sorted down to 2 3 4 4. Now let's see how to remove the duplicate names that we have for our district names. So we've got quite a lot. So for this, let me do okay, let me call port underscore df dot head first of all, so that the display is quite less, and then let me remove the duplicates by calling pour underscore df equals to pour underscore df dot drop underscore duplicates from the column district name. So if I run that, and if we look at pour underscore df dot head again, so now you can see we actually have the district names without any duplicates. And if I show you the entire data frame, so we have all the districts, which are 75 districts, and then there are 7 columns as per the initial data frame. So now let's work with the data of the central development region for now, for plotting purposes. So let me call head again on this one. So for the central development region, I'm going to have to be selecting from the development region columns the central development region. So I don't know what the central development region is called in this data from in this column, so I can just call pour underscore df then development region, and then call the unique function on it. So that gives me the unique values for the column. So we've got central development region as central. So now let's create a central df which only has the districts that lie in the central development region of Nepal. So pour underscore df, and I'm again going to be using conditional selection. So pour underscore df, and from the development region column, let me compare with central. So this gives me out the central underscore df data frame. So here you can see all the development region values are for the central development region, and all these districts lie inside the central development region. So now as we have the number of pour and as well as the district, let's start plotting. So for this I'm going to be using SNS, which is Seaborn, and if you aren't familiar with it, I'm probably going to be putting up a tutorial on my data visualization with Python series. So do check that out and get updated with by subscribing. So let's plot this out. So plt.figure, and then let's provide a fig size. So let me plot it out to be 20, as this is quite large. So I'm going to be plotting the x-axis as the district names, and then for the y-axis I'm going to be plotting out the units or the measure values, just to show you guys. And again, if you know what unit and measure values mean, just write it down in the comment sections. So fig size equals to, let me give 28,10, and then let's put sns.set underscore context to be a poster. Then let me put the font scale to be 1. Then let me also provide in some RC values. So RC equals to lines.line width. Let me leave this for now. So I just want to see the plot first in order to keep my RC values. So SNS underscore plot equals to SNS. Let's do a bar plot. So SNS dot bar plot, and then let me provide x-axis as the district names. So district name, I hope that's what it is called. So district name. Then for the y-axis, let me provide in the measure values for now. So measure values, and let me provide in data as my central underscore df data frame. So let me also put the titles. So plt dot title, for example, let me put out number of pour, and then let me put out my x-axis label. So plt dot x label is going to be districts, and plt dot y label is going to be measure values. So now if I run this, you can see that I get a chart back, and you can see that some of these values over here, the x-axis district names, overlap, like in Sindhuli and Sindhu Palchok at the far bottom right of this screen. So to fix this issue, let's call plt dot tight layout. So if I run that again, you can see the visualization has been much clearer. So we've got the number of pour visualization over here with the districts on the x-axis and the measure values on the y-axis. So I hope you guys understand how to work with your data frames, and I've just used this for an example, and I'm not using this for any analysis purposes because I don't actually know what measure values mean. And although I can make some guesses out of it, I think it will be incorrect for me to speak on that. So now let's also save this as a chart. So fig equals to sns underscore plot dot get underscore figure, and then fig dot save fig, and let me name this number of pour dot png, and let me provide in a dpi of 500. So if I run this, the chart has been saved in my directory with this number of pour.png name. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this tutorial. This was quite short, but I think this will come quite handy, and you can actually work with your own datasets, and just go to OpenNepal and download some other dataset and work on them. So that would obviously make you more experienced when working with data. And for now, I think I should stop at this. So if you have any questions or any requests, just leave them out in the comment sections and I'll get to them. So yeah, ta-da.